So let's take a proper look at this gold. Let's start on the higher time frames because this is what we should be doing. Now, after last month, which has obviously just ended, we've had a double top and we've had a big rejection, and below this sort of key area, sort of 1480s, where there has been previous support, come resistance, and so therefore expected to see it sort of retest this area and break down further. You know, at first instance to sort of 1445, 46, for the reasons I'll show you in a moment, which on the daily. But you know, obviously could potentially go further down. But anyway, it looked to certainly need a pullback. So that is what we're playing on. I mean, if you have a look at this week, this weekly 20 was the sort of target I had in mind. Obviously, we had the nice big bearish day yesterday. I mean, towards the end of last week and earlier in this week, it's just, I've just been absolutely killing it on the shorts. It's been great for us, and we've had this smash down, and it stopped dead pretty much at the 60 mark. I think it broke to 59 something is the number, which we'll look at in a moment on the smaller time frames. But now we're seeing this. It's very rare that I've seen a candle come back up past its you know, entry start point from, you know, middle of the week and go back down. So I do think we're going to see more momentum to the upside. Maybe to this, that's what I say, this 1520 mark is just a kind of area that has got some support and resistance there. So that's what I kind of expect to see happen now. The only thing hindering is obviously this daily 20, but the 20 is above the 50, and therefore we should overall be bullish, and you know, expect to see this break back above. So we will have to see, but especially after these two candles, I would be looking at this being bullish tomorrow, especially because the sort of US things that come out today have not been positive. Additionally, we've got the further details on Friday. So what we had today, was the non-farm employment change, which was less than previous, less than forecast, and they had more oil sat there than they would like. So very negative, very negative. Tomorrow there's something else with manufacturing. You know, I expect that to be lower, which could drive the price upwards even further. And then Friday we've obviously got the non-farms. That is going to be the steadying factor. I mean, previous was 130. They expect it to be 140. Based on what happened today, it's probably going to be less. Is what I would hedge my bets on. So this is why I think we're going to have a little bit of a bullish run up to that point. 1502 now. So seeing a bit of bullish momentum, like I said, between now and 7 o'clock, it just tends to happen for some reason. We go down to the 4 hours. So where we was at earlier, we was looking at this short, was off the rejection of here, and off the rejection of the 1 hour. Things would seem to be sort of lining up, but it's just smashed through. So it would not surprise me to see 1520 come in before a breakdown, retest, or continuation. So we're now playing back above these areas. So this is where we're going to have to just play with the trend, not go against it, which is what we sort of did earlier on. But I was playing the pullback. So let's see what it brings us. On the 1 hour, obviously this is where we was. Had the breakdown initially. Was in some profit, and it just turned around and went straight against us. And we're now just sort of staying above this 1500 mark, which is why, as I say, I sort of expect to see us continue. Not really going to be much resistance before 1520. So it may be a good idea to be looking at longs for this. We can see perfectly what happened on the 1 hour and the 30-minute. So we did have, based on sort of news and emotions, we had this massive spike yesterday. This is what give us the break-even trade. Again, was in profit and gave it back, and it broke down. And I was looking to see this break down and come back down, in honesty. So this is where it gave me this sort of bullish candle here, and this is when I switched off and I went over to pound yen, and it's just carried on since. A lot of momentum to the upside here. So it could well just continue. And if we look down on the 5 minutes, which is where obviously we like to pick entries, there was a perfect opportunity for an entry from the break, a retest to 5-minute 50, and it's just stayed and respected it the whole way up. So you know, this is where we will see those pullbacks and sort of more longs, I expect. But this will likely just follow suit tomorrow. As I say, you tend to get three when you get a bullish day like we had yesterday. If it's meaning to continue, we tend to get 3 or 4 days of bullish momentum. So, e.g. here, bullish candle, 1, 2 more days after. So we could have another bullish day again here. 1, 2, 3. If we look here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We look further over here again. You know, we had the bullish one, and then 1, 2, 3. It just continued a bit more from there, and same here at these levels. So I do expect some more bullish momentum on gold. Whether we see more bullish momentum or anything change on the indices, if we take a quick look at those. Any questions or anything else you want me to look at on gold? We'll come back to that shortly anyway and see where it is. But any questions on it after what we've just looked at? So in normal circumstances, it would have been, you know, yesterday would have just been this break and retest of the 50. You know, we was sort of expecting the retest of 1480 level, but yes, it's just one of those trades that has gone against us. But this level here is at the 50% fib, so that is something worth taking into consideration. However, as I say, it's sort of blowing technicals out of the water. This was the level where we shorted earlier, was sort of in line with the fib. And as we're sort of creeping up past it, this could just be the next leg to the upside. But yeah, go to the Dow. Yesterday, bearish breakdown. Rejection that's key level here at 27,000. Just smashed on down. So expect we could well see more bloodshed and further red days here down to these lows, unless something changes. This is where it's obviously fundamentals and everything have a huge impact. But if we take a look on the DAX, the Germany 30. Look how small the volume is in these daily candles, but you know, was creeping up nicely. And in the last 2 days has wiped all of that out. So it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign when we see momentum to the downside like that. In most cases, it just continues, and it's more likely to find support around 11,800, which is a similar distance for the FTSE as well. FTSE's actually done one of the worst out of them, which doesn't surprise me, but at the same time it's a bit of a shame. But whether we see any pullbacks tomorrow or not, we'll see. I mean, if you look here, when there's been big bearish momentum, there really hasn't. Start the next day, it's just continued. So likely they're going to fall, and likely gold's going to continue tomorrow. So pullbacks, we're looking for the longs, and I see us sort of being capped at 1500 for now. So depending how it looks later on and in the morning, we might jump on along there. Before I break down any of the currencies, is there any currencies you've looked at or been trading, or anything else at all that you want me to cover first? Well, I'm going to have a look at some of these currencies. The Aussies have had a generally bad day. I mean, the pound Aussie and some of the other crosses against Aussie have been strong. So Aussie CAD, obviously the one off that's had an okay day. Yeah. Let's go to the euros first. There's not much interesting going on there on the Aussies. Let's have a look at the euro Aussie. I mean, that's looking strong, same like the pound. Euro dollar, strong, but like I say, euro dollar is always one of those. I just think we're probably going to creep up to this level and fall back down. Euro CAD, Euro yen. So this looks very similar to pound yen in the fact that we've had the rejection of day 20 and continuation, and could very well fall back down to the lows. Are you in a euro yen trade at the moment? Or is this one you've been eyeing up? Okay. Yeah, I mean, let's take a look across all the time frames, as this is the one of interest. So last month, spike up and smash back down, and this month has started off with this sort of 118, looking to move back down to the downside. So 116 could come back into play. As you can see, we've got, it found support there before, it was resistance prior to that, so likely we could get down to there. And especially with the risk off sentiment, money's going to gold, money will be going into the yen as well, and therefore it doesn't fare well for the crosses. So yeah, very likely heading back down to these lows. Strong bearish candle today, so don't see any reason why not. On the weekly, just continuation. Just looks to be moving as you would expect. So it bounced off 120 dead. So 4 hourly, we've had this breakdown. Again, like the pounds, we've had these wicky candles. So on the 1 hour, I wonder if it's done the same thing as pounds and rejecting the 20. Yep. So it hasn't actually hit the 20, but it has sort of rejected that level. So this could be the start of the move further down. But yeah, but looking bearish. Yen's looking strong. So yeah. If I'll show you pound yen again. So as I say, it looks very similar. I must admit, it was last week I was feeling quite bullish and you know, hoping for a bounce to the upside here on the pounds, but it just hasn't prevailed. So it looks like this is a bit of a fake out, and we're just moving back down. Well, excuse me. So monthly, the same. Just sort of rejected this area and sort of moved straight to the downside, to this sort of long-term trend line. So what we had before, and I mentioned that the month of September is generally a good month for the pound in general, just because of everyone converting money back into pounds that had been converting prior out of pounds. So yeah, very sure this is just looking to come further down. So we'll monitor for more shorts. So back on that daily, we're just bearish. On the 1 hour, I'll show you the action that we caught earlier. Was this beautiful retest, rejected, went short, got the nice bottom. I literally come out just above the perfect moment, come back up, and because I was revisiting gold, I thought I'm not going to try my luck twice on this, although could have played it out again. Could have been a very nice couple of moves in pound yen just by taking short. So I think this is going to continue to the downside. Any more sort of rejections and tests up here at 132, I probably will look to jump back in. I think it definitely makes sense to. There is a little bit of support building here, but as we've normally seen, when there's a bit of a triangle forming, it tends to prevail to push to the downside. So we'll monitor, we'll see how that goes. But very similar to Euro Yen. I'll have a look at dollar yen as well, just so that we've had a look at the majorities. Dollar obviously weak. Would have been the best one to short. But yes, there was no opportunity. I'm not I know people that trade by just jumping in on momentum, and sometimes it works for them, sometimes it doesn't. There's been no retest and no real way, in my opinion, of being able to get into this trade. So yeah, I mean, especially if it keeps coming down, it just bears good stead for gold to be keeping on going up. Again, this daily is broken back down below here, so we could see it coming further, at least to 106.8, which is only sort of 30 odd pips away, not far at all. And maybe even further. This could have been this is a sort of double, triple top we've got here. So that is it's a real sign for weakness. So yeah, we could very well just start seeing this come back down and maybe down to these lows of 105. We're there in August. But it's the same story across all of them. For housing below the 200. I think if it does break this 107, it's going to be a clear run for 106. There's not really much. We've got a bit of sort of support and resistance potentially at 106.6, but yeah, we'll see. But as I say, looking bearish, and sort of ties in with the refreshed analysis of gold, looking to the upside. Take a look at the other yens. Dollar yen, they're the same thing. Closer to the bottoms though. CAD yen, well, yeah, it's really not done very well, but that's mainly to do with all the oil, because CAD gets affected by oil, and so that's the reason for that. But I'd expect to see some kind of a pullback after that day, but yeah, maybe not. 100 pips smack to the bottom. Let's chuck in. Now again, yeah, very bearish day. It's been across the board on those yens, 1% down there. So yeah, we will see if the yen continues with its strength. I guess is what's expected. Anything you spotted on any of those that you want me to dig into a little deeper? Let's have a look. So Aussie CAD's been really strong. So here we've had the sort of pull back up. I mean, this could very well be looking back up to the daily 20. But weekly and monthly, again, we're looking to maybe get some kind of reversal candle starting there. Monthly doing the same as the first week of the month, but yeah, I mean, we broke it back above that 4-hour 20, and we've seen it happen on gold today. So maybe it will just continue to blast through the support areas, or the resistance areas, I should say. So yeah, do keep an eye, but yeah, if we suddenly get a rejection off of it, are you looking at this as a long or a short? Okay. No, this is still those plays you've been highlighting on the monthlies. Let's zoom this out. Yeah. Yeah, I think once it looks like it needs a pullback, let's have a look on the quarterly. Yeah, so last quarter, the last three have been down, so we may see some momentum up to this level, 9117. It'll be an even number. That's where the cursor's getting to. So yeah, let's keep an eye. But yeah, I think the short play could be risky. Could be risky. But just looking to turn around. If we break down, it is slowing down. Gold just had a sudden surge. Yeah, it is slowing down, and so we don't know where it's gonna sort of turn around, as it were. But this could be the month. If we look at the daily, we have got to get past it 20s and 50s, but yeah, I mean, if you're going to look at the play, it would definitely be from the daily side rather than the lower time frames, just because the lowest have sort of broken through. Yeah, you know, if you see this drop back in on this 4 hour, we see this drop back in a retest. So, for example, like here, it sort of come back in, had some retests, you know, then it gives you a good signal to go short, and it always will retest, you know, whether it goes up, down, wherever those drops are, it will always be a retest. So just bear that in mind, because there's never a sort of rush, as it were, to get into the trade. I mean, you'll see it like to the upside. As much as it looks like more Carol going, there's always retests. It doesn't go in straight lines. So yeah, if we get a nice pullback in retest, then it would definitely be setting up for a nice short. Same as this. So on the 1 hour, it hasn't pulled back yet. So I think your best play, if you're going to do something for a quick trade, would very much be this 1 hour down to the 1 hour 50 in continuation. I think that could be the best trade right now. As it breaks back in, retests and continues. So just bear that in mind. But I think if you look at something now, if we're getting bounces off anywhere, first stop's going to be the 1 hour 50. Take a quick 30 pips out of it there. And let's have a look at the other one, which was NZD-CAD. What are you looking at to do on NZD-CAD? Is that short as well or long? Okay. Again, very bullish. We're on the 1 hour. Let's take a look at this monthly. So this looks like we could be having a bullish month. Could have found some support here. Ties up with these lows here. So could look to see this start coming to the upside. So look at the daily. Again, creeping up to that daily 20. So I think it's good to run up to then. We've obviously engulfed these last 2 days. It's a very bullish sign. Very likely we're gonna hit this and potentially smash up past that. So keep that in mind for those shorts. But it nicely rejected the daily 200. That's played very nice support and resistance here. I mean, even going back here, look, it's played very well. It stayed above. When it's broken below, it's retested. It's retested. So bear in mind, if we could get a run up to there, and that could be the nice short play. So yeah, keep that in mind. But again, overall trend is bearish, but it could be turning around. So we've broken the 50, and sort of retested it. So 4 hour 200 could be coming in, and it plays with the trend. So let's go and have a look over on gold, because it seems to be going a bit nuts on there. So we retested back at this 1500 and it's decided to take off. Could we see 1520 tonight? Time will only tell, but again, massively bullish candle. daily's blasted above this daily 20. It's run today. What's it done? So it's done 300 pips today. 300. So big number. Big number. Doesn't look to be slowing down, so likely continuation. I think the only other day that we've seen 300 pips move was it this day? It was a drop anyway. it wasn't to the upside. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure this kind of candle before big bullish days. Low 33. Yeah, nearly 400 pips that day. And holds and stays back above the daily 20, then it does mean we could be in for a retest and major continuation. But certainly seems to be motoring. I did say always 6 to 7 o'clock. I don't know what it is. I don't know what goes on over the water at this time, but it just always sends it doolally. Yes, I think pattern-wise, it was definitely fair to say there was some kind of head and shoulder, and the argument could be that that was filled. I mean, this head extended sort of shoulder. It's not the cleanest. As I say, I think technically it was and is looking. It was bearish. And these sort of moves up to here did look like a pullback. And did expect it just to fall back down. So. Yeah, I think technically it's misbehaved, but now it's back in the bull zone. So we just have to be aware of that and have to trade with the trend. Just doesn't look like there's much stopping it right now. Yeah, I think 15, 20. This could be a run that takes it back up to new highs. Wouldn't put it past it. Wouldn't put it past it at all. The only reason I wouldn't is because if it's on the daily, so I mean let's look at the Dow because it'll be. I don't think I've got the Dow is below where I don't think I've got the S&P now. Much as it looks here, want to see that it's actually projecting. I mean, if you look here, it's all got double top. We could see further breakdown, and the Dow itself is dropped below, and I tend to find the Dow drives the S&P more than the S&P drives the Dow, if that makes sense. So I think that it's more likely that the S&P will drop with the Dow. Much as it's, it is a potential position for it to reverse, and there may be a short-term reversal. Just when this momentum comes in like this, I mean, it's just, you don't want to get on the wrong side of it, and it blimmin' moves when it wants to. So you just get stopped pretty quick if you're on the wrong side. And I don't want to risk giving away much more, especially not today. I'll just definitely wait till tomorrow. If you feel confident with it, then you know, give it a try. I'm just technically speaking, you know, it looks good technicals, but remember, we want the candle to close, so we want to see where the day finishes. If it's above, then likely tomorrow might get another retest and continuation, or it might just get a rocket to the downside. It's until we see a close, it's a little bit more of a guess. And like I say, we've sort of got this strange kind of double tops here. It could be more likely that we're going to see a drop. All dependent on this news. So if we suddenly get whiff of something on the dollar that's, you know, that's good, then it will spike up. You know, but yeah, I think that the weight's going to be on waiting for Friday. So I think what's likely to happen is tomorrow continuations to sort of other key areas of resistance and support. So e.g. gold here and the others below, and then I think we'll see if it decides to bounce or break, but it will be dependent on that news. If the figures are lower, then yeah, it's just going to continue. It'll really motor in continuation. The dollar and the Dow, S&P sinking, and gold to the upside. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting week, news-wise. So I tend not to trade the S&P over the Dow. I prefer the Dow. Well, I should have preferences, but as you can see, the S&P just sort of jumps here and there and everywhere, and the Dow, just like the other indices, is a little bit more predictable between the levels. I find so. Just see if we get more continuation or not. But this 26,000 level is an interesting level to go long from. I mean, as you can see here, it found support. We had the 200 in our favour. But that's not to say that it won't continue. Anything else you've seen? Super gold. I must admit, I'm sort of shocked I didn't see this move coming today. Because after yesterday's candle, I was just thinking we're going to get a reversal off the 50. But yeah, what a candle. More motoring. Jeez. Gold has got a rocket on its backside, I think. It'll be interesting to see what happens through the night and into the Asian session and stuff. Because if they see at these levels and think, okay, it's continuing, then we could be waking up at it at 15.20. Just out of interest, so what do you see? God, what was it that confused you on it sort of today as well? Is it just based on what I was saying, what I was looking at, or is there anything else you were seeing? I mean, like I say, you're not the only one. It's done me the last couple of days, and it's just not been technically doing what what we would expect. Yeah, well, then at least you know the technicals are the same all the way around. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of people caught out on this. I mean, getting into that move this morning, which is when I like to do my trades at, generally about 8:30, is when I look at the markets, because you tend to find whatever momentum goes first before the market open, you get a pullback and continuation. So that's when I do like to enter. And I was waiting for it to break back below and retest to continue short at that time, but it didn't do it. Went to the upside, and should have revisited it to the upside instead. So that is trading. Gold has definitely got some volatility in at the moment, and interestingly, I think it's going to be here to stay. I mean, the Dow is ticked down even more. I think it's probably just going to continue. I'm going to look for the pullbacks and try and catch the train. But it's playing nicely on the 5-minute. It's doing as it should do in nice ways. Spiked 15.05. Whether it breaks through, we'll see. I should think it will. There's not really anything to stop it there. As I say, 15.20 is the interesting area. It's just how many candles we've had in a row. I'm just waiting for it to crash back down. Yeah, I mean, going into the evening, it is late, and I'm not sure how I would want to hold it overnight, but you know what? I would hope to see a chance to enter long. I mean, yeah, if we get a kind of pullback and rejection on the 5-minute 20, or even if it's the 50, then yeah, I think it's worth considering for a long. I think there's obviously momentum to the upside, so going to have to try and take advantage of that. We might not get entries any other way, so I think the daily showing us we're going to continue to the upside, so better to trade with the trend. Yeah, let's see what it does. Is there anything else you want me to go over, trading wise, other than just breaking down any of the pairs and things? Is there anything anything anyone can sort of look at, or go over, or help, or adjust with your trading wise in general? How is trading going? Has it been profitable so far this month, other than today perhaps? This is true. I'm in the week. You're right. We're only a day into the month, really. I keep thinking from Monday. What about last month? Want to review anything? Okay. I mean, sometimes when I have a bit of a charting block, sometimes I'm just looking too hard and trying to see something that isn't there. It's not always that it is. Like I say, I like to follow the trend of the day and then break it down in lower time frames. So, e.g., the last couple of days, it's been bearish for gold, and it's been great because in the mornings when the volatility's been coming in, I've literally been waiting for the break and retest on the 5 minutes, hitting my trades in, getting my quick, my 20 pip minimums that I like to get for the day. So if we have a look here at mornings, and I can try and show you exactly what I mean. But you've got to be going along with the trend. That's what I say. It only works along with the trend. So yeah, when it comes to morning, it's obviously been bearish. Just get a spike up. It just always happens. Breakdown, retest, and continuation. And then that's generally it till later when I see another break and retest. I think that yesterday was a bad example of that one because of the spike up, but okay. No, well, I mean, finding a few pairs to trade like that is great. You're seeing the right things. That means so. Don't count yourself out so much. Nothing wrong sometimes with looking to see the other side of it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm generally following the daily and then jumping on that morning trend. Like here, if the big comes up and then breaks back in and retests and continuations. But I have been trying. For this month, I said to myself, as you know, I normally just take my 20 pips and I'm out of there. And in the mornings, I've sort of been trying to do that so that I know I'm taking some profit. But when it comes to any trades that I find later in the day, I am trying to put them, let it move, change my stop to break even, and let it run. And it hasn't worked in my favour, in honesty. Just like the examples that we've done when I was away, letting the trade just run. The amount of times you could just be in and out, and over the month period, because I'm quite consistent with the sort of scalps, as it were, the number just ends up being lower. It just doesn't end up as high. And so it's a little bit difficult for me. I'm sort of having a little bit of a battle with myself because, like, like this, let's just take a look at this as an example from earlier on. Took the short, it came down, 20 pips up, moved to break even, get stopped out for nothing. Could have taken the 20 pips and then seen it's gone the other way, and maybe jumped in the other direction. But yeah, this is why I do find it a little bit difficult, because I like taking profit when I see it. I'm not used to just leaving it and letting run, so I am having a little bit of a trade-off with myself in doing so, and hopefully that helps you see that we're always learning. But I do recognise, like this morning, if you got in this on a long and then you move to break even, it's never come anywhere near it. You could just leave it all day and come out of this today with 300 pips. So yeah, I am trying to do a bit more set and forget. But yeah, it is frustrating when you don't lose money because it's break even, granted, but at the same time you think, well, I could have been taking profit out of the market then. So I'm going to see, because last month ended up 30% up. It was a great month, very consistent, and gold shorts at the end of the month helped boost the figures. So I'm curious. I'm going to run with this plan this month, and I'm going to see how it goes, and I will share with you along the journey where things are at. I was at 6% already for the month, thanks to the last couple of days. But after today, let's have a look where we are. We're only at +2. So whereas it should have been up, I've given a lot back away with gold. I could have taken the profits. So yeah, that's where my experience is. I'm trying to evolve. I've reduced my trading account slightly because I should be doing bigger trades. So I'm going to see how it plays out, as I say. And we'll share throughout the month. Was there anything from last month you thought about yourself that you thought, I might try and change that or look at, or any experiences that you gained that enforcing yourself this month? And on the commodities and indices versus currencies, they do act differently, and you will find that sometimes you find it easier to read currencies compared to commodities and indices. I just find it easier to read gold than most currencies, which is why I've always favoured that. But yeah, that is something that a lot of people find. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so as I say, what tends to happen is you get the Asian session sort of gives a bit of direction, and then I've got a 5-minute retest here. Let's see if we get a rejection from it. You tend to find that there is a lot of momentum, and then it pulls back, and then it's always around 8:30, because you get the 7 to 8, which is effectively this kind of time. So yeah, you've got like 7 here up till 8. Or when did it go today? So I'm sort of 8:30, where it's just gone one way, and then it's pulled back, and then it's continued. And I tend to see that happen most days. The problem is that, yes, if you got in the day before or the evening before, you probably had a better price, but we don't know where it's going to be. So that's why I like waiting for the next day, because then if I see that it's gone in my, if it is following the trend and going where I expect it to go, then that's the way that I trade. So you just had a rejection close on there. So you know what? I'm gonna try a long here on gold from this level. I'm gonna put my stop below 1500. Okay. We're live there. Let's see how it plays out. So yeah, I do tend to find those time in the mornings works. It's just when the momentum's in, the market's kind of settled, you've seen what way it's going to go, and you get the continuation. Like you saw today. Yesterday was a bullish candle, today followed suit, and that is the rules. You have to sort of follow the previous day, because if you don't, that's when it goes against you. Just like, sort of today, if we got in this morning, it would have just gone completely against me, because yesterday was a bullish day. But yeah, it means it generally will sort of respect it. And I'm just going to set the stop didn't come in. There we go. Cool. We get a little bounce. That's nice. Hopefully, hopefully this is the run up to 15.20. But yeah. So tomorrow morning, I've set the limit at 15.20 just in case you get really lucky and it happens overnight. If not, I'll look to see what direction it's going in, and I'll wait for a pullback and re-entry if necessary. Otherwise, I'll obviously still be in the trade, and I'll manage it accordingly. But what I am going to do, if we get back up to this 15.04 level, I am going to move this to break even, and then I can let it run and see if I get stopped out for break even again, or if we finally take some profit. I wonder where pound yen is at, talking about taking profit. Yeah, so back down at 80s, 131.80s. So must have just missed the chance to get back in 131.2 there. This is when I will be looking for moves to the downside tomorrow though. So yeah, keep an eye, because look, we're sort of built in this range now. So we do break below it, it could be further downside. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just start having a look, and then you'll start to see what I mean. You just around 8:30, you just always get spike in one direction. Well, not spike, but it's been building up one direction, and it's going to break above or below the 5-minute EMAs. As long as it's in line, it's carrying the trend from the previous day. I look to enter on the retests. So yeah, keep an eye on it. But yeah, well, I think that should cover it for tonight. Unless there is anything else you want me to go over, or anything else you want to talk about before we shut up for the evening. Okay, great. Well, good work, and you know, keep it up, and yeah, I will keep you posted on the trades. Let's keep an eye on gold, see where we go. Getting a bit of a break underneath, so I've done a real tight stop, so this may just take us out if it does come below. We'll see, but nonetheless, let's try and let it play out. And yeah, I will catch you in the group. As always, anything you see, anything to discuss, feel free to chuck it in the group. All the best, Sandro. Oh, and I am in London tomorrow, so I've got a meeting at 1, so maybe before. When's normally convenient for you? What time's your sort of lunch? Okay. I have got to be near Tower Bridge. So yeah. I will let you know if I can get in early enough to see you before. Otherwise, maybe let you know when I'm done, etc. And go from there. Otherwise, next week I know I'm in next Thursday. So yeah, I'll keep you posted. All the best. Have a good evening.